Lucas had always dreamed of traveling the world. He would spend hours looking at photos of faraway places, Paris, New York, Tokyo, and imagining himself walking those streets, tasting new foods and meeting people from different cultures. But there was one problem. He didn't speak English. How am I supposed to explore the world if I can't even ask for directions? He thought, staring at his reflection in the mirror. His English classes at school had left him feeling more confused than confident. One day, while scrolling through social media, he saw a post about London. The city's iconic red buses, the Big Ben, and the bustling streets called to him. Without thinking twice, he booked a ticket. "This is it," he said to himself, holding the confirmation email. "I'm going to face my fear and learn English no matter what." As the days counted down to his trip, Lucas felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. He packed his bags, printed his itinerary, and even downloaded a language app. But deep down he couldn't shake the worry. What if he got lost? What if no one understood him? The plane touched down at Heathrow Airport, and Lucas's heart raced as he stepped into the bustling terminal. Signs in English were everywhere, and the announcements over the loudspeaker sounded like a blur of unfamiliar words. "Okay, Lucas," he whispered to himself. "You practiced this. Just find the train to the city." He followed the crowd, clutching his passport and ticket tightly. At the information desk, he hesitated. The woman behind the counter smiled at him, but he froze. How was he supposed to ask for help? Finally, he took a deep breath and approached her. "Excuse me," he said slowly. "Where is the train station?" The woman smiled warmly. "Just follow the signs to the underground. You'll see it on your left." Lucas nodded, relieved. "Thank you," he said, repeating the phrase he had practiced so many times. As he made his way to the train, he felt a small surge of confidence. Maybe English wasn't so impossible after all. On the train, he listened carefully to the announcements, trying to pick out familiar words. When his stop came, he grabbed his bag and stepped onto the platform. The city stretched out before him, vibrant, busy, and full of life. But as he walked toward his hotel, he realized he had no idea how to check in. "What if they don't understand me?" he thought, his confidence wavering again. The next morning, Lucas woke up early, determined to make the most of his first full day in London. He grabbed a map from the hotel lobby and set out to explore. His first stop was the iconic Big Ben. As he stood in front of the towering clock, he couldn't help but smile. "I'm really here," he thought. A group of tourists nearby was taking photos, and one of them asked, "Could you take a picture for us?" Lucas hesitated for a moment, then nodded. "Sure," he said, taking the camera. After snapping a few photos, he handed it back with a smile. "Thank you," they said, and Lucas felt a little more confident. Next, he visited the London Eye. At the ticket counter, he practiced the phrase he had rehearsed. "One ticket, please." The attendant handed him the ticket, and Lucas felt a small victory. As he rode the giant Ferris wheel, looking out over the city, he realized how much he was already learning. Every interaction, no matter how small, was a chance to practice. Later, at a street market, he decided to try ordering food. He pointed to a pastry and asked, "How much does it cost?" The vendor smiled. £2, please." Lucas handed over the money and took the pastry. "Thank you," he said, feeling proud of himself. By the end of the day, his feet were tired, but his heart was full. He was starting to believe that he could do this. He could explore the world one English phrase at a time. The next day, Lucas decided to visit a cozy cafe he had seen near his hotel. As he stood in line, He noticed a girl about his age sitting alone at a table, reading a book. When it was his turn to order, he nervously said, "One coffee, please." The barista handed him his drink, and Lucas gathered his courage. He walked over to the girl's table. "Excuse me," he said. "Is this seat taken?" She looked up and smiled. "No, go ahead." Lucas sat down and introduced himself. "I'm Lucas. What's your name?" "I'm Emma," she replied. "Where are you from?" "Brazil," Lucas said. "I'm here to practice my English." Emma's eyes lit up. "That's great. I can help you if you want." They spent the next hour chatting, with Emma patiently correcting Lucas's mistakes and teaching him new phrases. By the end of their conversation, Lucas felt like he had made his first real friend in London. Later that evening, Lucas and Emma decided to have dinner at a small restaurant near the cafe. Lucas was excited to practice more English, but he was also nervous about making mistakes. When the waiter came to take their order, Emma went first. "I'll have the fish and chips, please," she said confidently. Then it was Lucas's turn. He pointed to the menu and said, "I want, this one." The waiter looked confused. "Do you mean the chicken curry?" Lucas's face turned red. "Yes, sorry. Chicken curry, please." Emma giggled softly. "It's okay, Lucas. You're doing great." When the food arrived, Lucas tried again. "Could I have, more water, please?" The waiter smiled. "Of course. I'll bring it right away." As they ate, Emma gave Lucas some tips. Instead of saying, "I want," you can say, "I would like." It sounds more polite. Lucas repeated the phrase. "I would like more water, please." Emma nodded. "Perfect." By the end of the meal, Lucas felt more comfortable. He realized that making mistakes wasn't so bad. It was all part of learning. The day of Lucas's departure arrived too quickly. As he packed his bags at the hotel, he thought about everything he had experienced in London. Meeting Emma had been a highlight of his trip. She had not only helped him with his English but had also shown him the kindness of strangers. At the airport, Lucas sent her a message. "Thank you for everything, Emma. I'll never forget my time in London." As he boarded the plane, Lucas felt a sense of accomplishment. He had faced his fear of speaking English and had come out stronger. "This is just the beginning," he thought, looking out the window as the plane took off. "I can't wait to see where my next adventure takes me." Lucas closed his eyes and reflected on his journey. He had started out afraid to speak English, but now he felt more confident than ever. "Today you've seen that every small step counts," he said, as if speaking directly to the viewer. "Just like me, you can start with simple phrases like, 'Excuse me' and 'Thank you,' and little by little build your confidence." He held up his passport and smiled. Remember, making mistakes is part of the process. What matters is trying, practicing, and never giving up. With a final message, Lucas concluded. So, keep exploring, practicing, and above all, have fun while learning. Who knows? Maybe your next adventure is just around the corner, waiting for you. If you liked this lesson or have any suggestions, we would love to hear your opinion in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and activate the notification bell to always receive more videos like this. Bye and see you next time.